Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book, another one, your favorite dating and relationship coach. Listen, Halle Bailey has apologized, taken accountability. Ooh, it's a beautiful thing when you see it. Accountability for the way that she reacted with on the internet yesterday. She says, "Yesterday, maybe I did overreact and I shouldn't have brought it here. I know that Halo is always safe with his dad. I just don't like finding out with the rest of the world what my baby is doing. Thank you, Kai, for the gifts for Halo." Look, she took accountability and apologized. Love to see it. You know what I mean? She did it on the internet and took accountability, right? And this is what I believe that she needs to learn. Don't bring it to the internet again, right? Now, I think she's done something better than DDG because he didn't come out and apologize on the internet when he did his stupidity, right? So I think for me, Halle's showing some maturity here because when DDG was doing all his Kwashiasem nonsense a year ago, right, and that stuff with the Ruby Rose situation, we didn't see a public apology. Right, when he was getting slated, and rightly so for some things he was saying. Okay, so this is an era of maturity. I respect that. I think men, and I've seen a lot of comments from the men as well. They have respected that as well. There's a lot of men who are just kind of crazy, which I don't really rate anyway. But a lot of good men have come out and be like, you know what, we respect it, rate it. You know, she's apologized, taking accountability. You know, cool, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying to you? It's not. We're not making it a big deal because at the end of the day, she has apologized. But what I would like to say is that in the situation between DDG and Halle Bailey, I think it's incited a riot between the men and the women. Right? We've got a lot of women saying, "No, you didn't overreact. Your feelings are valid." First and foremost, her feelings are actually valid. I actually do believe she has valid feelings, and we should always validate that. You know, in a relationship that's healthy, you should always validate someone's feelings. Validation of someone's feelings does not mean that their world is the truth. It does not mean that their word is truth. It means that I can validate by saying, you know what, I can understand why you may have reacted the way you did. Right? That doesn't mean that it's acceptable. It means I can understand why you reacted the way you did in this particular situation, right? Which is fair because I think she was feeling a sense of frustration that that he wasn't communicating, and she was becoming anxious. I've told you about her. I believe her attachment style is very anxious, and you can see by the way she's replied on here. That she always wanted to make sure that he was safe, and make sure that she wants to know how the baby was doing. That's a very anxious response, right? And so what I've seen is that there's like a riot happening, a war happening between the men and the women on this issue, because the women are saying you didn't overreact, the men are saying yes, you did, and there's a lot of women actually too on the other side as well saying that they don't like what Halle did, because really and truly she came on the internet to tell us when it's a private conversation. We didn't need to know. We did not need to know what was happening in the group chat. So the fact that she's apologized, I respect it. And I think in future, it just is a case of, if you've got issues with DDG, take it to DDG. This tells me that the communication between the two of you is probably not working, right? The communication that you're having is not working. So someone needs to take the leadership, preferably DDG. He's a man in this relationship, right? But there's a lesson to learn here. Take this conversation to him. Right? Learn how to have a hard conversation with your partner, because the internet is unforgiving. They ain't forgotten this, and they ain't gonna forget it. Right? Just like the ladies are not gonna forget DDG and his behavior earlier on last year or last 2 years, whatever it was, during the Little Mermaid situation. They ain't gonna forget. They're gonna hold you to it. So the internet doesn't need to know every single thing that happens between the two of you, because they don't forget. Which is why I didn't like when DDG did the whole thing with Ruby Rose situation. I didn't like it. It was stupid. Whether it was a prank or not a prank, it was stupid. It was just all stupid behavior. Right? Didn't need to happen. You exposed your family to that, and I said this is not it, right? And now we're seeing the same. Now we're seeing the situation here with Halle too. So it's a lesson for her to learn. She's growing from it. She's apologized. She says she's sorry. So, but my only thing is, she said, and here's the thing: she didn't take full accountability, because she said yesterday maybe I did overreact. The maybe is a clause. You gonna hold her to that? You gonna hold her to it? Listen, maybe you did react. It's like, no, did you react that way or did you not overreact? Yes, I overreacted. Right? If it was a man that done what she done, right? We'll be looking at like, broski, what are you doing? Right? So although she took some accountability, yes, she apologized. Yesterday, maybe I did, which means she doesn't fully agree that she actually did, right? So if you fully agree that you did, you'll say, yes, I did overreact yesterday. But she doesn't fully believe that she overreacted yesterday. So are you caving into the pressure of the internet, or is it genuinely how you actually feel? That's another question for another day. And that needs to be solved between the two of them. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Take me outside of the group chat, because we ain't involved. Right? But again, it just highlights something about the language that I'm looking at from Halle. The last video that I did, which is funny, I literally just filmed the video part 1 and now I'm filming part 2. I said about using possessive pronouns. My is a possessive pronoun and very personal. Saying my baby, my baby, my baby. If you're a woman or a man, you shouldn't be using my baby when you're in discussion with your partner about the kids. It is our children. It can't be my baby, my baby. Then when it's time for doing our duties, it's our kids now. No. It's our kids all the time. And so that language is important because that possessiveness can alienate someone else within your scope, right? But, I really do empathize with her position. She said, I don't like finding out with the rest of the world why what my baby is actually doing. And I definitely understand that. But you're going to have to take your foot off the pedal, right? You're going to have to learn that you're not going to know every single detail of what the father is doing, right? You're not a better parent than he is, and he's not a better parent than you are, according to what we can see from the outside. Like, you may be inside, I don't know, but we only know you from the outside. We don't know you on the day-to-day. So as far as I'm concerned, right, you've given you trust him to have you trusted him to have a kid. You now trusted him to have the kid. Trust him to do what a dad will do. You know what I'm saying to you, right? You may not always like the decisions. Look, when you're in a relationship, you don't even like all the decisions the father will do anyway, right? Because we do things differently. So understand, especially with especially boys how boys also are reared as well. They need their dads, and they need a man that's gonna be sturdy in their life as well. So look, I know that you may not like everything that he does because you've got a way of doing things, but settle. Sometimes take your foot off the pedal. You'll catch more. I said this. You'll catch more bees of honey rather than trying to do it with vinegar. So the reality of the situation is, if she can just change that by not focusing on the internet, don't bring it to the internet. We're not a good judge. We don't know you very well. Take that as a private conversation. Learn how to deliver it in a way that he can receive it, so that you guys can work together as co-parents. If it's a communication issue, why is it on the internet? Because that's still a communication issue. Because you're communicating with us when you should be communicating with him. You know what I'm saying to you? We're the wrong target. We are not the target. And so she obviously thanked Kai as well for the gifts as well. And that's very classy as well. We appreciate that again. She crashed out. She crashed out. Yes, she has to be honest. She crashed out yesterday. She was probably feeling some type of way. I think everything compounded it upon itself. And like I said, I think the biggest issue is the war that we're having. I'm seeing in the comment section the war that we're having privately amongst ourselves. Like, you've got some people saying, your emotions and feelings are valid. Don't ever let MFS try to tell you how to feel about your child. But we didn't tell you how to feel about your child. They didn't tell you how to feel about your child. They told you about the way that you're reacting. And this is where we get miscommunications in relationships. They're not telling you about how you feel. They're telling you about how you're communicating how you feel. You can feel anxious. You can feel scared. You can feel like you're not communicating, but the action is what people are judging. So be very, very careful when people do this, where they go, you can feel how you want to feel, but it's not the feeling that was an issue. It was what she did by coming on the internet. Know how to differentiate the two. Anger never killed anybody. It is the action that proceeded from the anger that kills somebody. A gun never kills nobody. It is the person pulling the trigger behind the gun, aiming it, that kills somebody. So understand that emotions are not the problem. The problem is, what do you do as an action from the emotion? Many people have blamed anger, blamed their sadness, blamed the disgust, blamed their emotions for why they do it. No. It is the action you chose to align with that emotion. That's the issue. The emotion itself is neither good nor bad. It is simply a message about what's happening to you. And so in that space, you have to choose an action. Can you be angry and not slap somebody? Yes, you can. But can you be angry and slap somebody? Yes, you can. What is the difference between slapping somebody, being angry, and not slapping them when you're angry? Right? The difference is you chose an action. So anger isn't an issue. The Bible says be angry but sin not. Okay, so Halle can feel as much as she wants to feel, no problem. But the action you proceeded from that's the issue. She needed to apologize. And yes, saying yesterday maybe that, she took accountability, we'll give it to her, but she needs to work on that. Because that yesterday maybe, maybe I was a little bit off then. No, just say you were off. It shows that you have still have a problem with being corrected. It shows you have a problem with actually taking accountability for what the wrongs you've actually done. We can identify with how you feel, but your action, that can cause issues. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of uploads. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys.